I had to get on here, y'all. Y'all already know why we here. My favorite tea talk. Let's make sure we have all the streams in here. Let's get Instagram in the building. But yes, you know why we here. It is your girl V with reality recap for your Saturday tea talk on last night's episode of Life After Lockup. Oh no, it is Love After Lockup, right? Life After Lockup. I'm confused, but so many franchises with these series, but we are on Life After Lockup right now. We are streaming live right now across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Mic is on. You guys can hear me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I will give you my unsolicited thoughts on last night's episode. Did you watch? I hope you did. I gave you a few episode highlights on my page earlier this morning. Love D Nice. Hi. You said you was just about to finish it. Girl, it was an okay episode. It was definitely some foolishness going on as always. It wasn't as drama filled as we're used to seeing, but it was still a good episode. Hi, Sativa. Thank you for checking in. Oh, my girl Lily's in on YouTube. Hey, girl. Yes, the gang's all here. I love it when you guys come through. I told you this is my favorite tea talk of the week. It's definitely Life After Lockup. So we're gonna get into the couples, honey. Because like I said, there was definitely some foolishness going down. It wasn't the greatest episode, but to me, it was still good. I saw some of you in the comments saying you thought that it was boring. I didn't think so. I did not think so. But before we get started, yes, we're streaming live right now across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. It is your girl V with Reality Recap here for your midday tea talk on last night's episode of Life After Lockup. If you can't watch this live in its entirety, no worries. All my tea talks and my weekly reality news recaps are loaded on my YouTube channel. So click the links in my bio on Instagram, on Facebook, and like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We already got the comments coming in. Sativa said Bianca was drinking after having the combo with the family about drinking, child, and with his cousin, and they looked a little bit too cozy to me. The cousin looked like he wanted to get him some after a few drinks. I'm just saying. When he talks about, well, I just like to stick it in too. Yeah, he wanted to stick it in her. And Sativa also said, how Brittany and Key Rock not make sure they can leave before doing all of that for nothing? Girl, we talked about that last week, Sativa. Like, how do you even make those type of moves knowing you belong to the state? Uh Savage Rose, thank you for checking in. Said most death was given boring, girl. Bumclots. And Lovely Night said Bianca a mess child. What friend that was driving the car when you need her in here? And hey, Bougie Betty. Hey, girl. Hey. And Lovely Night said, because why Bianca thought her drunk ass was about to drive? I don't know. She ain't learned her lesson. And I low key think Bianca has an issue with drinking herself. But let's get into it. We're going to start with our first couple. Our first couple is Zariah and Troy, honey. So Zariah wanted Troy to go with her to see the same psychic that told her that her life was doomed before Troy came home. Hi, Joseph on YouTube. Thank you for checking in. What's up? Savage Savage Rose said the tea is she creeping with the cousin on the low. But y'all ain't hear that from me, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It was definitely giving what is going on here. She was way too comfortable telling her man's business to his cousin. Like, that's his cousin. He's supposed to have his back. And he's sitting there listening and smiling and grinning and throwing back green tea shots. I don't know what was going on there. Lily said Troy was annoyed, but that woman reading the cards, yes. Lily, you have to follow me on Instagram. I put up like a meme of this guy reading Uno cards, talking about some wild. It's wild out here. Oh, the number 5. They slept with 5 people on you because that's the vibe that she was giving. This psychic was giving last night. But yeah, Z wanted, I call her Z, but let's say Zariah, so everybody knows who we talking about. Zariah wanted Troy to go with her to visit her psychic again. They get there, reluctantly. He didn't want to go, but reluctantly he went because he always trying to support Zariah. He's really, to me, he's a good dude, and he just love her little stinking dirty draws. He love him some Zariah, so he decided to go with her to the psychic. Now, what threw me off is when she said that she's a medium, but she's not a tarot card reader, but she used the cards for visualizations. What? Either you one or the other, or you all in between. I've never heard of that. Have you guys heard of that? Where you someone tells you that they're a psychic or a medium, but that they don't, like, they use the cards, but just for visualizations. Huh? That alone was like red flag, red flag. What is what is you talking about? Like red flag. I don't know. But yeah, that caught me a bit off guard. I wasn't sure what she meant by that. Sativa said they got the nerve. That ponytail is crazy forever. And Savage said, no, she is shaking my head. It got exposed in the FB chat. Whoop. Well, listen, Savage Rose, I saw Brittany and Dude they was at the pumpkin patch yesterday. Every Friday she tried to post to prove her love to Daniel and to make us think that she's not as bad as what we see on our TV. Lily said never. Yeah, I ain't never seen that before. Sativa said, I believe in spiritual things, but to rely on a psychic for every little thing, yeah, it is a bit much. Especially one that's also mixing in tarot cards, but just for visualizations. But basically, the card said it's all bad. Bad things are coming. Like they said on Martin, a mad dogs are coming. So it's like bad things are coming, distractions, chaos. And she also mentioned there's a female around him that's drama filled. And that's what I said in my caption. Who's gonna tell Zariah that the drama filled woman in his life? It's her. It is talking about her. She has brought nothing but hell and damnation to his life since the beginning. She cheated on him while he was locked up. She left her husband, which was his cellmate, for him. How you get it is how you lose her. So she already cheated. She don't trust him because of her own wrongdoings. And she the one arguing and fussing with him every single week. She the one that's behind on 2 months rent at their business. She's about to be behind on rent at the house and didn't even tell him all the things that this psychic medium tarot card reading lady was talking about is about Zariah. she just watched the same show we're watching. Like, let's be serious. She watched the same show that we are watching, and you don't need a psychic to figure that out. Lady Danielle said, thank you for checking in on YouTube. She said, the unpaid bills is a major distraction. Hello. So, yeah, the psychic just watched the same Love During Lockup season that we watched. And she made her predictions. Hell, I could have did that. I could threw some spades down and flipped them all around to tell her that. She ain't have to go pay her. I could have told her that. Love D Nice says Zariah crazy and that pastor dad ain't produced not a single kid lied to somebody else. And Love D Nice, we gonna get into that because I was confused by that comment as well. Joseph on YouTube said, I think Zia is afraid that Troy might get his lick back because she did wrong in a relationship. Yeah, she doesn't trust him because of what she's done. And she does think that because she did it, he can do it. And she tried to say last night the only difference is um she admits her faults and he hides his. Hides what? He ain't got nothing to hide. He he ain't did nothing wrong. Like, what is it that he's trying to hide? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, it was all bad things. Chaos is coming, distractions are coming. The female around him is drama filled. And Zariah asks, "Is it his baby mother?" Leave the baby mother alone. She ain't thinking about you. She ain't bothering with him. She all the way in another part of the state. Y'all is in Buffalo or Syracuse or whatever. Basically, like they're not even in the same city. So leave the baby mother alone. This ain't got nothing to do with the baby mother. And the psychic said, "No, it's not the baby mother. It's another woman." Yeah, Zariah, it's you. So I don't know what is going on there. Oh no, I lost them on Instagram, guys. Let me see if I can get them back. Let me see real quick, real quick. I lost my Insta because I was wondering, like, how did it go to zero so quickly? But we lost Instagram. Let's get them back. We got to get them back. We had a whole audience on. A whole audience on Instagram watching too. Let me get them back. I wonder what happened. Bear with me, guys. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. All right, let's see if we can get them back. All right, it's coming up. It's coming up. I appreciate you guys. We're still streaming on Facebook and YouTube right now. I see you guys in there. I appreciate you. We're just going to get Instagram back. There we go. I don't know what happened to them. Hopefully they come back in. Let's read some of your comments on YouTube. Lily says she's so insecure and it's sad to see because you can tell Troy really loves her. And Lady Danielle, thank you for checking in. Said Troy loves her dirty draws and every lump on her face. He sure do. He love her down. They be on live. I told y'all they be on live every week with him cursing us out about he love us, so we better like it because he ain't changing his mind. He love him since the ride. I don't know what she does for him, but besides fussing at him, but he is totally in love with her. Lily said, "I hope Troy's baby mother gets paid for every time they mention her name. At this point, she should trademark it." Because at this point, she is part of their storyline. She pretty much is. Hi, Latoria. Thank you for checking in. All right. Sorry, Instagram. I don't know what happened, how we got kicked out over there, but I had to get you guys back in before we keep going. So, right, the psychic said that it wasn't the baby mother, that it was another woman. I told you guys in my caption. Oh, you're going to post it in your groups. I appreciate you. But yeah, it's definitely Zariah that I felt like the one was talking about. So Zariah gets upset. She walks out and she blames Troy for the tarot card reading, child. Like the man, how he go to support you and end up in trouble for something he ain't even really get caught doing. He's just caught up in whatever these cards is saying. Hell, it could be a woman in Zariah's life because it is Zariah, if you ask me. But how did he go from helping you or supporting you because you didn't want to go and deal with the emotional, traumas like you did last time you went to go see her and you got bad news? Number one, I wouldn't even have went back, but you go back, you want his support, he go to support you, and then you get mad at him and walk out. Make it make sense. So he follows her out to the parking lot. She's asking if he's cheating on her. And her definition of cheating is talking to other women. Um, and it's like you did that. And I did see that too. Latoria said, "Let's talk about the cut and bruise on his arm." Right. If you saw last night when Troy, I think he had a tank top on or something. There was a bruise under his arm. I did notice it. Hey, D Candy, thank you for checking in. I did notice there was a bruise and cut under his arm, and you listen. I don't know where he got it from, but I mean, we can only assume, right, with the way that she treats him. Latoya said the Uno card post took me out. I was just telling Lily on YouTube, like, she got to follow me on Instagram because that was hilarious. One of my followers sent that to me. Summer's Finest on Instagram. She sent it to me, and I was like, I have to post this. Yeah, I did see that. I don't know if anybody else noticed that bruise and cut that Troy had. Hey, Love D Nice, thank you for coming back. I don't know what happened, how you guys got cut off, but I had to make sure I get you back. But yeah, I don't know if you guys did notice. I think it was a picture somewhere too. I saw it, but Troy had like a big bruise right here in his arm and cut. So who knows what happened to him? We have to ask the psychic to find out. But he loved him some Zariah. You can't tell him no different. Lady Danielle on YouTube said every reading she has told projected negative things about the relationship. Yeah, like why would you even go back to get another another reading? So yeah, Troy's in trouble for not even doing nothing but being supportive and going with her. She's outside asking him if he's cheating. She makes it clear that her definition of cheating is him talking to someone else. He said no. He said he don't even know how to work the damn phone that good enough to be cheating and hiding and deleting stuff. He is not doing anything. And I believe him. I don't believe that he is. He truly does love her. Love D Nice says she better not be hitting him. I don't know, Love D Nice, but it was a pretty big bruise. If you guys didn't recognize it, I did. It was pretty big. So because I was looking at, I was like, did he get burnt? And then I kept looking. I'm like, oh, that's definitely a bruise, a fresh one too, because it hadn't even turned purple yet. It was like a bright red. So I don't know. I don't want to point the fingers, but we can only assume with the way she treat him, it may have been something to do with her. Um, what else? What else? What else? She talks about how she's the one that's cheated. She in that because of that she has trust issues with him. That's your fault, girl. And if you chose to stay in him, y'all gonna have to build trust. You can't be blaming him or raking him over the coals for your wrongdoings. That ain't even fair. I don't even know why he would stay with her, but he chose to. So he seemed over it more than she is. She waiting for him to get his lick back, and that's not how a relationship is going to work. And then what caught me off guard was she out there yelling, I just want a normal relationship. You are the one causing it to not be a normal relationship. You the one taking some psychic. You the one mad every episode and yelling at him, telling him information he should have known months ago about behind rents and his businesses that he's in partnership with you. You are the one that's making it a relationship that's not normal, and a relationship where they can be communicating and supportive and talking at a normal tone. You the one putting them down, yelling at them, you're kicking him out, threatening him with divorce every other episode, and then you in the parking lot yelling, you want a normal relationship? Huh? What? It don't make no sense to me. Like I really don't get it. Latoya on Facebook said, I think he loves her and loyalty to her for all she's done. I think this is why he stays and she manipulates him. Latoya, I also feel like as I continue to watch them on this show and honestly off the show on their lives and Instagram posts and stuff, there's a codependency there too. Even though it's not any hard addictions, but they cannot, it don't seem like they can function on their social media pages without smoking. That's all they do is smoke, 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 every live, every there seems to be some type of codependency on each other. And it's a little weird, to be honest, but that's what I get from them on their social medias. Could be wrong, But that's what I get off their social medias. I know they're also having a brunch coming up, right? Keith is not Keith. Troy is having a brunch, and she's been promoting. They've been doing little meet and greets and brunches, and trying to get their money together. I ain't seen nothing about Project Hill. Just all of a sudden, they hosting a bunch of events around the city. So I think that's coming up. He's having some type like a paint sip situation, and I guess that's how they trying to get their bag together. Do your thing, get your hustle on. But I definitely feel some type of codependency. Lady Danielle said Troy needs to go spend some time with his baby and let Zaruya. Why you keep calling her Zaruya? It's supposed to be Zariah. I don't know. Calm her nerves. Yeah, I would rather. I agree with Troy's sister. I would rather. I mean, they're married though, so I guess that's why he came straight home to Zariah. But I would really like for him to go spend time with his daughter. Maybe not crazy Karen, but spend some time with his daughter in an environment where the child's mother is comfortable with, not taking her back to this dysfunction that we're seeing going on with Zariah and Troy. Um, he also, he tries to calm her down and tell her, like, look, I'm not doing anything. I don't even know how to use this phone. Let's go back. You can finish your reading. And again, to me, that was very gracious of him, because I'd have been like, I ain't going back in there, and neither is you. But he said, listen, let's go back in, let you finish your reading. We have dinner with your parents. Let's not bring that energy. He's always so understanding and calming and supportive of her, and he asking her for a kiss, and she acting like she don't want to give him a kiss. Gonna make him kiss that bumpy ass cheek of hers. I said, the nerve of this girl, the nerve. Lady Daniel said, cause she ruling him. Z gives the same vibes as the other cast member who was scamming. Yeah, Lady Danielle, Zariah has a lot with her. Yeah, she is. I can't even say she's not the typical pastor's kid, because usually that's not uncommon to see a child of a pastor kind of go real left. But yeah, Zariah has a record. She has some scamming ways about her for sure, and she definitely has scammed this man brain into loving her. Latoya said, I don't know why people get in a relationship when they shit isn't together. Right. None of these people coming out of jail should be getting into relationships. And the expectations that these people are putting on them for them to come out, knowing that they have arrest records, is going to be hard for them to get a job, hard for them to start their lives, and especially for men who have done upwards of 10 plus years, to expect them to come out and be faithful to you and not want to, date or sleep with other women when they've been surrounded by men for over a decade is just crazy to me. Like, the expectations, it's mind blowing how oblivious these people be acting, and really think that they're just going to come out and live this normal life. Like, they don't need to adjust back to the real world. It's insane. Like, overall, it's just insane. Lady Danielle said, this just proves Yana right for not wanting the baby to just go around Z. Yeah, and what mother would? What mother is gonna let you come out of jail, and this woman you haven't even lived with in the free world ever before? You've only been home a few days, and then you think you're gonna take my child for the whole summer? Like, are you kidding me? Lily said, not the bumpy cheek. Yeah, he asking her for a kiss. Can I have a kiss? And he really kissed it. I was like, the foundation and all. Like, nope, not me. Victoria said the Brillo pad. That's maybe how he got that cut and bruise. Her face laying on his arm. That's a good one, Victoria. I don't know, but I definitely think it got something to do with her. And what gets me, right, is that after all of this fussing and all of this arguing about what the psychic said, they go back into the psychic, and then she says, well, it's something in the past. I don't think he's cheating right now. Bitch, why didn't you say that 10, 15 minutes ago before this girl went running out blaming him for everything. Then you come back and tell him, I don't think he's cheating now. It's just got something to do with his past, a woman in his past. Yeah, Zariah, because she been in his life the past 5+ years, married to him, making his life hell. Like, what is she? I could not believe. I could not believe she flipped her story. She must have shuffled them cards while they went outside, because you caused all that drama just to come back and be like, "Psych, he ain't cheating, girl." And then gonna tell her you that she gotta work on her emotions and how she reacts to things. Duh. Again, the girl ain't do nothing but watch the last season like we did, making these predictions. Ain't got nothing to do with what was on them Uno cards she was flipping around. Like, you caused all of that and then gonna come back and say that. I said, then what the hell? How much do she charge? And I would have said, give me a refund. Because we ain't even see them pay her though. I don't know if they, paid her before we saw it, but she can't be serious. Like, stick to crystals and healing or something like that, because the tarot card visualizations is not working out for her. I couldn't believe she did that. Zariah and Troy, then they go to dinner, and they go to dinner with Zariah's parents, and they talk about some of their struggles with Project Hill. So it sounds like, she hasn't told them, and she says she's not going to tell them about what's happening with the rent and everything like that, that she's just going to, keep that to herself, kind of like how she did Troy. But she said she'd rather fix the problem and then tell them. Maybe they could help you. And maybe they could help you get the 50 kids that you need, because they're saying that in order for them to get the grants and the money that she was hoping to get or expecting to get, she needs at least 50 kids to sign up and be a part of the Project Hill project, and for her to be offering therapy services for a minimum of 50 kids before they can get grants. So again, what confused me there is, why get this huge office space? Why not start somewhere small, manageable, maybe even in your parents' church? Why not start there and until you get the grants? Why y'all done printed up polos and name tags and hired people in this, like, lavish, if you ask me, or like state of the art office space, if you don't have the 50 children to start your business? And what parent is sending their child to Zariah and Troy for mental health services? I'm sorry. Who's sending them there? Who? I I just thought, listen, I am no business manager, but all I'm gonna say is, I am in my basement doing this, right? Like, I'm trying to, I thought that's just like business common sense, that you keep your price or your spending low until your overhead or the money that you're making can afford for me to be in some huge studio and paying, producers and things like that. This is a one woman show you see right here. So why would you do that? It makes no sense to me. I, I I don't understand it whatsoever. Latoya said, looking at her, why isn't she getting therapy? Why would people want to be a part of something that isn't helping her? Great point, Latoya. And I told you guys, I saw Zariah and Troy they did a interview with Mary on Kiki and Kibbits, and she talked about, like, I ain't gonna say she blamed it on that, but she said what we saw in Love During Lockup, how she was talking to Troy and yelling and screaming, what she's still doing now. She was saying that she is bipolar and she was not on she didn't have medication at that time. So if that is the case, right, why aren't you showing and proving that these services are working? I'm in these services myself. Troy, he's in these services dealing with his traumas from being locked up for such a long time and trying to rehabilitate himself, why not show the program works in order to get people into the program? But hey, listen, Troy was supposed to be the director of community outreach. So maybe he just ain't got out to the community yet to get the 50 children. But to start so grand without having that, and it's giving, if she did get grants to start the business, she spent it on that Kia and all these little Gucci pocketbooks and little money bouquets and hotels from when he came home. Like all that money that was spent, I personally believe it came from grants. Just being honest. Miss Gold, the how do you say her name? Miss, is it Gold the Own? Says she's a perfect example of putting the cart before the horse. Agreed. Agreed. Makes no sense. And Lily said that's what I was thinking. Why not get people from the church? Right. Like use use the sanctuary of the church if they're not doing anything during the week. Miss get her on. Oh, Miss got her on. Okay. I struggle with names. Some of these. I'm trying to read it on my iPad. I apologize. Miss got her on, but I agree with what you're saying. And Latoya said, oh, why she spending money on weed instead of buying her medication? That part. But I don't even know. I don't see anything about Project Hill going on in their social medias. Like I said, they are doing these meet and greets and brunches. They also talked about um they were coming out with their own THC gummy line named after Troy's mom. It was called Black Karen. So it seems like they're going in a different direction than the Project Hill. I don't really see much talk about that at all. I honestly haven't seen much talk lately about the gummy line either. They talked about it. They had a logo and what it was going to look like, and they said coming soon. So maybe the brunches and the paint and sips will help push those businesses along. We'll wait and see. Sweet Lip 69, I can read that. Said, and prepay services for the Uno lady. That part. What is she on a monthly plan? Because that's what I said. We ain't even see her pay her. And how much did she pay? Because she deserves a refund. That's what she deserves. But yeah, they tell the parents at the dinner about the struggles of needing the 50 kids in order to get grants. Um, and she also tells her pastor parents that they went to a psychic. And the parents is like, no, 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 we don't do none of that. We don't do none of that. And what I didn't understand is because it was my understanding that Zariah is adopted. So when he was saying like, unless maybe they adopted her at birth and they were there at the hospital when she was born, but he was like, when she came into this world, I prayed over her life and what's her destiny. So I was like, but she's adopted. So I didn't really get that. Again, maybe he was at the hospital and it was like, one of those adoptions where as soon as the baby gives birth, they go home with the adopted parents. I don't know. But that threw me for a loop. And and he's saying what he's saying, and the mothers over there, they went into full on church. Amen. Amen. I said, all right. They went straight into church. Okay, cool. And the mother was saying how she believes in she believes in psychics abilities, but she said that in her mind is witchcraft, and that is like just like how they believe in God and everything, that she also believes there's a devil and that the psychic and that is witchcraft. But yeah, that's her belief. So I I don't know where it's gonna go from here, how they're going to pay these rents and things that they owe. And Zariah went on to say how she doesn't know. She just feels like there's a dark cloud looming over them and that something bad is going to happen. If you're speaking that, then that's what's going to happen. So, and again, she is the dark cloud. Who's going to tell her that, guys? Who's going to tell her that she is the dark cloud of negativity? Like anybody, I volunteer to let her know that it's her. That's what he said. Misappropriated funds, that part. And Joseph said, to Z's parents, psychic equals the devil is alive. That part. They was not here for that. When they did you see their faces when she said she went there? I'm like, oh, so they don't know she been going there? That ain't her first visit that she been going. Like Sweet Lip said, she on the monthly plan for the psychic and them Uno cards. Child. I told you the first time she went, I listen, I've never been to a psychic reading or a tarot card reading, but the way she was flipping them bent cards and throwing that card out there, just shuffling like she about to play spades and throw it out there. Listen, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I didn't believe it from jump. But we'll see what happens with Zariah and Troy. Lily said the dad, something about the dad makes me feel like he's a little fruity. I'm sorry I had to say. Lily, you're not the first to say that. A few of you have said that and almost made it seem like the mom is the beard. I don't know. They've been married for a very long time. I'm just gonna say you're not the first to say that, so don't feel bad, okay? Let's get into the next couple of last night's episode because y'all already done had me spend 35 minutes on Zariah and Troy. Y'all be cracking me up on this Saturday Tea Talk, honey. But let's get into, oh boy, Bianca and Daniel. Let me go to my notes. Now, I told y'all Bianca took a break from social media. She said that you guys, and I say y'all, not me, because I don't bother with the girl. She followed me and all of that good stuff. I'm surprised she ain't popping here today to give her side of the story. But Bianca said she had to take a break from social media because she was getting a lot of threats that people was gonna unalive her or that she should unalive herself all over this show. And she said that she could handle the comments, but the threats is what she did not like. That she didn't like that. So she was taking a social media break. The break did not last long. I want to say it lasted about 2 days. But every Friday before the show airs, she spends the day posting in her stories and on her Instagram to let us know that her and Daniel are still together and that they are very much in love. They still live in Arizona. They've moved into a new apartment and about like a week or two ago. They moved into a new apartment. Really nice. Definitely an upgrade from the apartment that we see them in right now on Life After Lockup. It's very new, modern, and they were at the pumpkin patch yesterday, y'all, holding hands and kisses and picking pumpkins. She wants y'all to know, she wants you to not believe what we are seeing on our screens is who she really is. So, yeah, she took her 2 day social media break. She's back, and they was at the pumpkin patch yesterday, just so you know. D Candy says she a kid, child. I was over that show. And Sativa says she is a kid, mentally, physically, and emotionally. She's a complete mess. Latoria said, I think the cousin like her and going to mess around and hit that. Listen, somebody over here on Instagram, I forget who said that up there. Let me go back before we got cut off. I don't know if it's still there, but somebody said that. I was wondering if it was in your groups, Latoria, because they said in one of the groups on Facebook that Bianca got exposed for messing with the cousin. I was like, I wonder if that was in Latoria, one of Latoria groups. I don't know, but I told her, well, they still together. So I don't know. Lady Danielle said, Bianca, 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 my girl, move back to Florida. Let Daniel let Daniel maintain his sobriety. And Lady said, I'm sure she and his cousin been messing around. The way he was looking at her during the bar scene made me side eye him. Me too, Lily. I was looking like something ain't right with this conversation. I personally, I'm not gonna leave my boyfriend with my cousin to hang out for the day. No. The cousin could have went with the family when they when they went out. He part of the family. He could have went out with them and helped him pick out some of his new clothes. No way did he need to stay with her. That alone, I was like, huh? Why is they staying together? But Sativa said the cousin trying to smash. They were flirting crazy. I totally agree. So Daniel goes out with his parents and leave Bianca to hang back with the cousin. Hmm. I immediately was like, I ain't leaving my boyfriend with my cousin. That ain't happening. But they go out, Daniel's parents trying to be very supportive. I love his mom. She's been through so much and she really just wants the best for Daniel. Daniel had a brother who passed away from an overdose. So the mom has already lost a child. She has Daniel who has struggled with alcohol and drug addiction and spent all this time back and forth in jail and he's sober now. She really, really doesn't want to see him backslide. So just the disrespect for his mom and her wishes and asking and begging and pleading for her not to drink around Daniel alone is crazy to me. How she just disregards everyone's feelings and only worried about her own. But Daniel is out shopping with his parents and he tells his mom while shopping he ain't pull out last night. Now that's a TMI, a bit too much information to be given a parent, first of all. But he tells her that, and she's like, well, that was done on your part. And you're going to be paying child support if that's the case. Like, and y'all know that Daniel has a son, right? 14 years old, that he already owed 14 years of child support on. So, right, Latoya, pineapples, way too much information. like, uh, he already, and that's another way. I cannot wrap my mind around why this girl is pressuring him to marry her and have a baby when he's only 2 to 3 days out of prison. He already has an ex-wife and a child that he has not paid anything or done anything to support that's 14 years old. He owe a whole lot of back pay. You and he don't have a job yet. Why not let him figure all that out before you decide that you want to marry him and skip a plan B pill? It makes no sense to me. Sativa said they live in Scottsdale, the rich area. Yeah, the apartment they moved into looked like it too. Sativa said the cousin might be trying to save him. Well, he gonna save him and drag himself down. Yeah, boy moms. But yeah, she really does care about him. So he tells his mother that he ain't pull out. She said that was a stupid decision, especially with him just getting home. Then he asked her thoughts on proposing or halfway proposing because he already done that, and that's where Daniel has to take some accountability. He proposed to Bianca while he was locked up, not really meaning it, just like, oh, this is a girl that I talk to all the time. I don't want to lose her, our friendship, relationship, whatever. At the time while he was locked up, I want her to keep on sending me money. I want her to keep on taking my phone calls and keeping me company. So let me go ahead and propose to her. And he had no intentions of marrying her as soon as he got out. So he has her under this impression. And that's where he needs to take accountability. But now he wants to like propose, but not propose. He wants to give her a promise ring to insinuate that eventually I'm going to marry you. I don't know when, because I got a lot of stuff I got to get together, but I want to give you a promise ring. And pretty much asking the mom to pay for the promise ring along with them New Balances and t-shirts and stuff that he was picking out. Like, what? And I would have told him no. And he was picking out rings that like I can't say if they was real or not, judging by the store that they was in. But he was picking up, hey, Miss BBW, thank you for checking in. He was picking out some huge rings, and the mother went with like a simple little band, like, yeah, she'll like this. And I wouldn't have bought none of that because what was the total? Along with his clothes, it came out to about $70. I was trying to figure out how much of that was that ring. Crazy. Joseph on YouTube said, I will never be comfortable even with my own parents talking about my sex life. No, exactly. Never. Sativa says she's pressuring him because she has not learned her lesson. She still drinks, tries to drink and drive on TV. And Sativa also said Bianca has not hit rock bottom to change. If almost dying didn't make her change her ways, then they are in for a struggle. Sweet Lips said, right, $71. Listen, those rings were not real, $70. And he got clothes and stuff along with that, right? It wasn't just the ring. He got some clothes and, the $30 New Balances. So I don't know how much that little ring was, but I was wondering if they could have just paid for that separately so I could have found out. But yeah, I've said this time and time again. Um, I mean, not Danielle. Bianca is very young. She's only, what, 23, 24 years old. She has no idea how to be in a relationship with someone who is a recovering addict. She has not done anything to educate herself on how to support someone recovering, or as well as recovering and rehabilitating coming out of jail for doing X number of years. Like, she is not prepared for what that entails. And she doesn't want to change her lifestyle, which is a big part of it if you are going to be a part of someone's life that's going through these traumas and struggles. Sativa said, I was not this naive at that age. Sativa, at 25, I got married. And I was naive because I should not have married that man. But you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me a thing. I be telling y'all, like, look, when I was 19, I was with someone that I thought you couldn't tell me he was in the streets. I thought we was gonna be together forever. You see this rose right here, y'all? Can you see it? How did I turn? Y'all see that rose? That is a cover up. I had tattooed someone's name on me. You can't tell me nothing. So listen, I get it, but I also wasn't dealing with anybody that was a recovering drug and alcohol addict. I wouldn't even know the first thing about how to support someone through that and not be a walking trigger to them. I would know probably off bat, I shouldn't be drinking around them. That's like common sense. Turquoise baby blue said, why would she ask this man for a kiss knowing he can't drink? She wants a drinking partner. She wants him back in the slammer. And also said, I hope she's acting because there's clearly something wrong with her. And she's also not hot. She's doing too much. Joseph said Daniel should have just got a ring down to the Walmart for for a chick like Bianca. And Victoria said, to be honest, she shouldn't want to be in a relationship. She got all that money. She should have been traveling and living life, exploring different things at that age. Ain't no way. Totally agree. And I'm assuming the money that Bianca has gotten from her that the money that she has, I'm assuming she got it from like some type of settlement when she was in the drunk driving accident where her friend was driving drunk and they ran into the wall. And that lets me know too, if you got in a car with her not knowing how drunk she was, you were just as drunk. That's just my opinion. And I also think that Bianca has a struggle with liquor on her own, with alcohol. She struggles with that. I personally think she has a struggle with it herself. It was the middle of the day. There was no need for you to be drinking like that. It wasn't night. It wasn't late night going out to the club. Y'all went out for lunch. It was no need for that. Right, Lady Dan. Walmart does have some nice rings. Just saying they do. Hi, Denise. Thank you for checking in on Facebook. Good afternoon. I have to figure out how I can make y'all comments come up so y'all all can see the comments. I'm using Restream. I have to figure that out so y'all can see all of y'all comments so I don't have to read all of them. I'm going to work on that this afternoon. But yeah, that while they're out shopping and Daniel got mom's head spinning from telling him all this stuff about Bianca, And we go back to Bianca and his cousin. They're sitting and drinking. She's telling all of Daniel's business to his cousin. It was inappropriate. It was giving side eye what's going on between them. And it was just not only was she telling him all the business, she telling us too and embarrassing the man. I don't even know why he was at the pumpkin patch with her last night. I mean, on what I saw on their page. Maybe it was before he watched the episode. I don't know how he feel now after seeing the episode. But she's selling the cousin too much information. She was doing a lot of complaining about his mom. She said, "Oh, he's a mama's boy. I don't like that." She's talking about how she wants to be able to drink and have fun, and that his addiction is his problem, not hers, and she shouldn't have to change her life. And then she even is complaining about her sex life with Daniel to his cousin. And he weirdly looked like he was turned on by it. And she's like, "Yeah, he's not giving me any foreplay. He just wants to stick it in." And the cousin looking like that's all he wanted to do at that moment too. And he said it. He out in the parking lot with his drunk self, eyes all blinking slow, like, "I mean, I have a problem with foreplay too. I just want to stick it in too." And I took that as he just wanted to stick it in her right then and there. Okay. It was way too much information. Then he said she talked too much. And Latoya said he was the cousin secretly like her. I totally agree. The way he was looking at her while she was talking, it was like, "Oh, how I wish she was with me instead of Daniel. And why can't we be together? I don't have any addictions. I and then how he's saying like, I normally can't even finish a beer, but it's so easy to drink with her. She's very convincing." I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what? It was totally inappropriate. I don't want my husband at no bar hanging out, drinking like that with my cousins, nor would I think he would appreciate if I was out with any of his cousins drinking and complaining about our sex life to his cousin. Like, what planet are we on right now? Like, like why? And why didn't you have these conversations with Daniel? Daniel asked on the first night after they slept together, he said, "Be honest. How was it?" If you are not pleased with it, that's a part of relationships and communicating to make sure each other are pleased and happy. Why aren't you having that conversation like Sweet Lips said? Why you not having the conversation with Daniel? Why are you having it with his cousin? And he's sitting there laughing and stuff. I'd have been like, "Well, that's my cousin. We're not gonna talk about him like that. We ain't gonna embarrass him. If you got issues with that, talk to him about it." He's sitting there soaking it up. Like, I don't know. Too much. Let's see some of your comments. Lady Danielle said, "Crazy how the energy with the cousin changed. 2 episodes ago, she was mad that he called off the engagement, but now talking about the bedroom business." And Lady Danielle, even in that, when she first was talking to the cousin before Daniel was released, and they're bickering or arguing, and he's like, "Well, you're not his fiance yet. You're not his." It was still some weird kind of flirty energy there to me as well. It was weird. Latoya said he looked like a deer caught in headlights when they pulled up on them at the bar. I was like, why is he looking guilty? Because he was. He know what he was thinking, where he was trying to go. He was trying to get back to that apartment. Petty LaBelle said, "I love your name, by the way. Thank you for checking in, Petty LaBelle. I can't stand her." And Lady Day said, "It's weird. You don't need to be with my family member of opposite sex. Never." I don't know. Like, Latoria say I'm old school, and I believe it. Like, there's just certain things you don't do. And hanging out with, leaving my girlfriend with my male cousin, I just, not even saying, "Oh, you don't trust them," anything like it. That's just shit you don't do. It's like kind of like when you have company over or someone's over your house, you're supposed to put on clothes. You ain't supposed to be walking around with your butt cheeks hanging out in front of male company. I think like it's just duh. Like that's like what is going on up here? I don't get it. Y'all got a lot of comments over here. Barry's daughter said that's how those two will end up accidentally sleeping together. All the makings of a Maury show. More like Jerry Springer, Barry daughter. The makings of Jerry Springer, honey. Latifah said, because Daniel ain't going for the BS. The first time she tried it about the coffee. Yeah, but he did ask her, Sadiva. He asked her, like, be honest. What's your thoughts about, our first time together? And she could have just been honest. Turquoise Baby Blue said, right, I hope you don't have a kid with her because she's just a kid herself. And that's also more of the information that she shared with the cousin that, she didn't take the plan B. She had a conversation and an agreement with Daniel that she was going to take the plan B and decided that she wasn't. She says that it's her body, her choice. Cool. Your body, your choice, but you and your body agreed with Daniel that you were gonna take the plan B and now you're reneging. So if you get left alone to take care of a baby, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. Okay. And I don't know. But again, I don't know why you would want to put yourself in that predicament again with somebody who's fresh out, has sobriety that he needs to work on, no job, know it's going to be an uphill battle to find a job, who already owes buku 14 years of child support. Why would you even want to put yourself in that predicament? And then she telling the cousin, well, I got money. Not for long. Not for long. She must don't know how much kids cost. Like, who's gonna tell her how much they cost? I got two of them. So, listen, I'm in the midst of paying ballet, tap, gymnastics, and baton twirling class. So who's gonna tell her? And that ain't even including school tuition, uniforms, and everything else. Like what? Making no sense. And Denise said exactly, she don't need a baby. She just wants to keep them. Denise, I'm not even sure if it's about keeping them. Bianca has her own troubles that she needs to deal with. She has her own traumas. She left to go to Arizona to run away from her problems or her past in Florida. She went looking for Daniel on a website out of curiosity of just dating or talking to someone who had been convicted of a DUI after she had her horrific accident with her friend that was drunk driving. Like you guys see, I don't know if you can see in that picture, but she showed us that huge slice on her neck from the accident. She couldn't talk for months. And she almost had a panic attack when she visited back where she had the accident. Bianca also let us know that she lost a baby. She was in a relationship that wasn't that great. She was pregnant and she lost the baby. So she's running away from traumas and thinking that leaving Florida to go to Arizona is going to leave all those traumas behind. She seems to have traumas with drinking and she's trying to rush this new relationship and baby because she lost the baby. She needs to work on herself and not a relationship. And leaving one state to another, your problems are just gonna follow you as they are. She ain't doing nothing but drinking and drinking here. And y'all already said she was about to drink. She had been drinking and was about to try to drive herself last night. Like you about to get in another DUI and be in the same situation. I don't know what her parents are, Barry's daughter. I have no idea. She doesn't speak about them at all. I don't know what her parents are, but she seems kind of on her own, especially out here in Arizona. She ain't got no friends or nothing. She has her own demons she needs to deal with. She needs to work on herself and let Daniel continue to rebuild his life. He pretty much said like his entire life he been drinking and drugging. He ain't been able to, do right, take care of his child. I'm sure that's why he has an ex-wife. He needs to focus on basically starting his life from scratch. So, the parents came in with Daniel. They were caught. Everybody's looking all guilty because number one, they've been flirting and drinking. And they knew, the mom said, like, you knew we were coming here. Why would you be drinking? Duh. And I liked how the father stepped in and said, look, if you're going to be a part of his life, there is no drinking. Water only, sis. Like, he really tried to have a conversation when she too drunk to even hear what he's saying. It's going in one ear out the other. She keeps saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I just didn't like the condescending tone and the things that she was saying to him. Like, well, it's your problem. I don't have to stop drinking. If my drinking triggers you, then you need to figure that out for yourself. Like, I don't have to stop doing anything. And you talking like this to him in front of his parents on top of that. He takes her outside trying to have a conversation with her. She's not hearing it. She's like, oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. That's your problem, not my problem. It was like just insensitive. It was, to me, triggering to Daniel. And then she's pushing him and give me a kiss. You don't want to give me a kiss. And he's saying, no, I don't want to taste the liquor on your mouth. Like, that would be triggering for me. And she's mad just like she was about the coffee, let alone he had cooked the breakfast, but he ain't make the coffee. Which she told the cousin about that too, the whole coffee situation. She told everything. But she's mad at him for not wanting to kiss her when he's clearly explaining that, listen, I don't want to taste the liquor on your mouth. I don't want to do that. She had no compassion, insensitive, just young and dumb. And I'm kind of exhausted by her, I have to say. Turquoise Baby Blue said, like, where's her family? She's very lost. Yeah, she doesn't talk about her family really at all. Sativa said, one thing I can say about trauma, it starts at home most times. Yeah, there's something there going on for sure. Lily said, I'm sure if Daniel had a sister and she was present to see how she was talking to his family, she wouldn't act that way. Yeah, I'm an only child, but would nobody do my brother like that? She would have got snatched up by the roots of her hair. Barry's daughter said, in the words of Oda May, boy, we said, boy, you in danger, right? Molly, you in danger. And Joseph said Bianca was like what likes to argue with your mama, not me. Yeah, like she was disrespectful to his parents, disrespectful to him. He tried one more time to talk to her when they got home, and she's like, "You mad at me? You mad at me?" And he's saying, "I'm just gonna sleep on the couch." Okay, fine. Your problem, buddy. Your problem. Like at that point, she was just drunk and belligerent. But hey, they was at the pumpkin patch yesterday. Like I said, she wants y'all to think that that's not really who she is. She's giving us the same spill that all the reality TV stars give us. Y'all know how they do. We only see 10 to 15 minutes of their lives and think we know them. No, I don't think I know you. I think I've formed my opinion based on what I've seen on my TV screen for 10, 15 episodes between Love during Lockup to now, to know that she can be real nasty and she got some own traumas that she needs to deal with. They're not a good couple to me. They're not. And I hope that, Daniel can stay on his path to sobriety. I hope that she does not trigger him. Like I said, today they are still together. We don't know how that's going. We only see what she wants us to see. She's saying that the show is creating a narrative, yet she's on Instagram trying to create this narrative now of how great they are and, they're picking pumpkins and all of that. But we don't know what's really going on there. Joseph said, drunken love, drunken confusion. And Love These Nights said, and the show not making you drink and act crazy, so save it. That part. That part. They didn't put them drinks in your hand. They ain't tell you to go to the long shot restaurant. None of that. So knock it off. Well, who was our next couple? It was a little downhill from here. We saw Justine And Mike last night, um, I felt bad for Mike, him punching the wall in the situation last week between his son and Justine's son having, sibling rivalries and beefs or arguments. That's what boys do. That's what siblings do. Him punching the wall because, Santana, Justine's son, had broke through and broke his iPhone. He was saying it's a $1,500 phone. Why would you do that? Um, Mike is struggling, guys. He's used to a different lifestyle of rapping, selling, selling drugs and living that fast life with that fast money and having fancy clothes and jewelry and cars. And life has definitely, he's dealing with real life now, like he has to adapt to having a 9 to 5. That was the only thing that he was like, I'm mad that I gotta work. Join the club, bruh. We all out here working. Join the club. But I understood, and I don't think at times we give men credit for how much they go to through and stress on their shoulders and on what they have to go through. But he has 9 children, not all of them living with him. He is trying to accommodate Justine because she was the one that wanted to move and get a house in Vegas and things like that. But yeah, he's working, he's trying to blend his family. His wife is having a high risk pregnancy, and he's not being he's not the provider at this point. He's providing, but not at the level that he's used to. Like when he was locked up, he's giving Justine big diamond chains and a Mercedes and all that she wants, and now he comes home and things are just different. He's adjusting to the real world, so I could feel that about him. Latoria said he got a lot on his shoulders. And Lady Dan said, is that the same son? Michael's son looks totally different from when we first saw him after the release. Child, I don't know. He got so many kids. He got upward of 9 kids. And I think 2 of them, the names was Nova, and I forgot the other name, who aren't living with them. They're still, because the mom of those 2 kids said, absolutely not. They will stay here with me. But he talked about that. And Justine, she talked about being concerned if Mike could handle all of the kids if something was to happen to her. And his anger, she said that he's still adjusting, right? He was locked up for a very long time and he still has some of that jail mentality, which I don't necessarily think. I just think it's frustrations of what's happening on the outside, not necessarily traumas of what happened on the inside. But she is concerned that if something happens to her in this high risk pregnancy that she's in, that he would be able to handle all the kids on his own. So Justine meets up with her oldest daughter, and so does Mike. He meets up with his oldest daughter. And Mike's daughter, I mean, the children were making the most sense if you ask me, because Mike's daughter, Mason and Nova, I think somebody asked about his children or if that's the same son because he has more than one son. So maybe you would think about the other one, but it's Mason and Nova were the 2 kids that don't live with them. And Mike's older daughter, she has some guilt because she was always there and taking care of them and helping raise the 2 children that are not there with them. And she said that she don't want them to have resentment, especially when you guys, they're now bringing yet another child into the world. And Justine talks about her high risk pregnancy with her daughter. And she wants her daughter, who's in college, young, she's in her first year of college, doing her thing. She had the biggest smile on her face and how she's enjoying college and college life and adapting to it. She's telling her that if something happens to her, God forbid, during this delivery of this, her high risk pregnancy, that she wants her daughter to be the guardian over her children, especially the boys, because she says Santana's on the spectrum. She doesn't think that Mike knows how to handle him or his emotions. And she wants her daughter to be basically the guardian of them and like share custody of the children with Mike. I don't think she's had this conversation with Mike. And her daughter was like, I ain't really trying to take on that type of responsibility. I'm trying to live my life. Like, it was y'all that went and decided to have another child, knowing that it was high risk. You already had a high risk one. Why would you put yourself back in this predicament? And Mike's daughter is telling him the same thing. Like, it feels irresponsible that you guys would do this knowing the risk factor of it. And now y'all want to put it on us and we got to be the ones taking care and helping out if something goes wrong. Nah, figure it out. And I don't think the daughter is the right one to place that on anyway. And again, like I said, I don't think she had that conversation with Mike at all. I don't think that she has, because he would not be okay with that. Barry's daughter said it's a shame that the daughters know that it is irresponsible to get pregnant again. Yeah, like, right. That's what I was saying. The children made more sense than the parents last night. D Candy said Justine be acting like they loaded with money unless I'm missing something. Yeah, I mean, she may have her heads in the clouds too, but she left a really good job when they were back in, I think, what, Pennsylvania or wherever they was. She left a really good job. If she stopped getting pregnant, she can go back into the medical field and help out around with the finances to take some of the struggles off to him. She would stop getting pregnant. And D Candy said, child, they need to clean up that damn place. Yeah. I'm sure it's hard. She's pregnant. She's supposed to be, not on bed rest yet, but she's supposed to be taking it easy. She has a small baby. You got, 6 or 7 other kids in the house. Maybe she needs to make a chore chart or something so they can help out, because it was a bit messy. D Candy said her daughter has to live her life. Exactly. It wasn't, in my opinion, fair for her to try to put that on her daughter who's thriving. In one sentence, you tell her you want her to do the things you didn't do and graduate and go to college, finish college and have a great career. And on the other hand, you saying, but yeah, but if something go wrong, you gotta take these kids. That is, if she has concerns with how Mike is handling the children or would be able to handle the children, then that's conversation you have to have with him. Y'all should have had that discussion, right? Everybody getting married while the man in jail, and then they come out and then want to figure it out after the fact. What? Hi, Osmios. What can you do? Latoya said, if Kim is on, tell her she got a lot of fans in these groups. Kim is not on today. She was on a cruise. I haven't seen her pop in. She was on a cruise this week with Joey. They went on a nice little long carnival cruise. She literally just got back yesterday. So I don't know if she's gonna jump in today, but I will definitely message her and tell her that you said she has a lot of fans. I'm sure she'll love that. I'll try to make sure that she's in here next week too. We didn't see too much of them last night, just a little bit. I'm gonna talk about them, but I will let her know. And Lady Danielle said, Justine's daughter is living her best life. She ain't going back home to help her mom. Was she living her best? Did you see her face, Lady? That she was like, I care about your health, but you did this. The same way, if her daughter was in school right now and got pregnant, she gonna tell her, you made your bed, now lay in it. So guess what, mama? That's what you gonna have to do. Okay? But yeah, I think there's some more conversations to be had between Justine and Mike and how they're going to continue to blend their families. Maybe she needs to teach Mike more about Santana and how to care for him if she has those concerns. But trying to put it on the daughters, nah, that ain't the way to go. Who else did we see last night? We got 3 more couples. So Kim and Joey, we didn't see too much of last night. Not a whole lot. Joey's still waiting for the paternity test with between him and Kim's son. I think the boy is his. Looks just like him. I would be very shocked if it comes back and say that that's not his child. Kim is focused on buying a house, and she needs Joey to get a job. And he, honestly, at first it felt like he was being picky about the job, because she was asking him, was he going to pursue the HVAC? And I would say, damn, he need to have a conversation with Key Rock. Maybe he can help him out. But he said that the class was boring. He didn't really like it. And that, you have to be crawling in crawl space where there might be snakes. And bugs and things like that. And it's saying, listen, beggars can't be choosy. You need to help bring some money in this house, especially you the one swiping her debit card every time you get a chance. I also wrote in my notes, y'all, why can't he do Uber or Uber Eats or something to start generating some money? He riding around on 24s. He can't do Uber. He can't, do Uber Eats, Dash, DoorDash, something to get the ball running with some money. Oh my God. Not Miss Man Latoya. I don't know, child. But yeah, I just didn't understand why he couldn't do some things to start generating some income. And that don't take a do it take a background check to do Uber? I don't know. Latifah said, okay, big rims, you can't be picky. Yeah, it felt like he was now when he got on the interview, he changed his tune, but I was just thinking, like, okay, you got this car she brought for you. You sitting on fofos. Why can't you just go out there and do Uber, Uber Eats, DoorDash, something like that to start generating some type of money? But he did end up going to look for a job. He went to see the HVAC company. And at first, the man seemed interested in hiring him. He said that he don't mind. The guy was being honest with him that the first year you might make about $16 an hour. Going in the crawl spaces with the snakes, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! But that after that you can make up 100K plus a year. And he said, "Are you okay with that?" Sweet Lips said, "That's right. Deliver some pieces on them for something." But the guy seemed interested in him, and then of course he had to tell his criminal history, which is extensive. He's been locked up multiple times and for multiple things. So I, right then and there, you could see in the guy's face, like, oh, well, he said, I think he handled it trying to be nice, but they ain't hiring him. But he said that listen, I can't say yes right now. We're gonna have to do a drug test, and he said it could be like some type of miracle when my HR comes back and say that you're hired. He said, but hey, maybe if you don't get hired for that, we got other jobs around here that you can do. I always say, especially depending on what you are locked up for, at that point you have to figure out what is your business going to be. You have to become an entrepreneur because once you have a record, unless it's something you can get expunged, or if you have an extensive arrest record, it's going to be really hard to make buku money at that point. You really have to start having a plan of some type of business or entrepreneurship for you to have a comfortable life. And that's just in my opinion, that's just what it is. Lily said, Latoria said, "Who wears that to an interview, child?" Latoria, me and you old school. It's a different day out here. People show up to interviews in pajamas, damn near. And I wore this to take my kids to dance school. So, like, but people, this is a different genre out here. I don't even know how to say it. It's just a different generation. Period. Joseph said, I wouldn't want Joey to be my door dasher. He looked like he'll eat some of my some of my fries. Well, the bag's supposed to be sealed, Joseph. You better not be taking no door dashers bags that's not sealed closed. And them fries gonna go right to them hips. He got some of the widest hips I have ever seen on a man. It is a bit much. Petty LaBelle said, yes, Uber, Lyft, all of them do. Yeah. I don't know. Lily said he probably would eat the fries. And Payba said, made 150K doing HVAC. Okay. Yeah. He needs to talk to, because if somebody's giving Key Rock a chance with HVAC, maybe he can hook him up with something. I mean, it's totally different states, but maybe he can help him find a way. Now, Kim did join because sometimes we have some of the cast members come through the live. Now, Kim did come through a few weeks ago and say that Joey started a landscaping business, and that's what I'm saying. You have to go the entrepreneur route. after having such an extensive record that Joey has if you want to buy a house of, of anything. So I don't know, Latoria, if his landscaping business has gotten big. He isn't on social media like Kim is. I don't see her posting like, "Hey, hit my boo up if you need your grass cut, trees trimmed, or weeds pulled up." I don't see her doing any of that, but I will ask her. That would be a great follow up question. So that is what I'm gonna do since I don't have a tea talk tomorrow because of the Love and Marriage franchises are on break. I'm gonna reach out because I didn't. I'm behind. I had so many tea talks to catch up on. It was a busy week for the kids and school pictures and all types of stuff. But I'm gonna reach out to Shantae because I know y'all wanted an interview with her, and Kim was already willing to do an interview, so I will set up an interview with her so we can find out what's going on. She probably can't tell us too much of what's going to come, but we can ask maybe about how's it going with his landscaping business because that's what he was starting when she last told us about it. Love D Nice said he better get into trucking. Look like he still have his license. Yeah, that too. CDLs, and I was just saying the Uber and stuff would be just like an immediate way. But there's things that he can do: trucking, entrepreneurship, his landscaping. So I will definitely reach out to them. That is on my list. But yeah, we'll see if he gets a call back from these people. I doubt it. And because the man only had 2 words on his notepad, he acted like he was writing the whole time he was talking. But when they showed his notepad only had 2 words on it. And I couldn't see the second word, but the first word said opioid. Like, oh no, bro. It was looking like he was writing down a list of what he got a drug testing for. So that didn't look too good for me. Now he got the hips for trucking. We always stereotyping these truckers, a bunch of cheaters. Paisley Bell says CDL with his record. I don't think so. I mean, he can get the CDL probably. mm Who gonna hire him to do it unless he again starts his own trunking company or he has a fleet of trucks and has drivers. That's the only way. But you gotta have money for that. You know, you gotta have money to start a business like that. So we'll see what happens. I'm really interested in seeing the paternity come back. I feel like Kim already got the results in her email because she was nervous last night when he was asking her to check that email. I think she already got the results and just don't want to open it. She is avoiding that conversation like the plague. I truly think she already got them, but I can't wait to see what the tests come back. I am betting on it being his son because that little boy looks like looking at, even though his face was blurred out of her ex-husband or not even her ex-husband because during the show she's still married because in the state of North Carolina you have to be separated, living in separate spaces for a year before you can get a divorce. And when Joey came home, she was only 6 months of being separated, so she couldn't even get a divorce if she wanted to. So she's still married at this point on the show. And when they showed a picture of her soon to be ex husband, he had the curly, kind of like, dirty blonde hair like one son, and then the other son had the dark, low haircut, looking just like Joey. So you swear that he going that kid. Latoya saying Kim current husband going to sue her and Joey. I don't know, but he was cheating too, from what she said. I don't know if she got the proof. Like he got it because she telling us on national TV, but she say that her soon to be ex husband was cheating. Sweet Lips said I thought he was high during the interview. I don't know. I mean, he was talking a little slow and slurred, but he seemed motivated to try to get the job. Will she lose child support? Pay the bill. I don't know if she getting child support. She said he don't do nothing. He's a little bit of a deadbeat. The ex-husband ain't really doing nothing. So I don't think there's any child support to lose, to be honest. But great questions. Now Amanda said it's gonna be somebody totally different. Now that would be the kicker. If that's the case, we need them to stay on for the next season of Life After Lockup. Lady Danielle said, finalize the divorce. You can be sued if infidelity can be proven. Yeah, I mean, like I said, ooh, I done kicked my camera, y'all, but I don't know. She said the man was cheating first, and that's why she started messing with Daniel. I don't know if she has proof of that, but that's what she's saying. And they are separated. She said the laws when she popped into our live before. She said the laws in North Carolina is you have to be living separately for a year before you can file or get the divorce. Latoya says she said they was going to reconcile and there have been texts shown in a group that's supposed to be from him to her and she showed texts on the show of them getting back together. Joey interfered with that. That's all he have to prove. I don't know. Now I saw the text that was shown on the show, but it looked like it was just the guy sending her a whole bunch of texts trying to get him back and she didn't respond. So I don't know. But listen, I'll try to get the interview so we can so y'all can ask all these questions, honey. Paley Bell said, "Me too." He looks fucked up. Well, you and who said that? Sweet Lips on Instagram have something in common. Y'all both think that he was trippy on his interview. I thought he was just trying to get the job, y'all. He was just trying to upsell himself. Now, who else did we see last night? Louis and Melissa, child. Listen. Louis went in. Now I don't know what that city that they was trying to say that he was in New Jersey when he was looking at them rings, but that was right up in Woodbridge. If you live in Jersey, y'all know he was right by Woodbridge Mall at the jewelry exchange. Now, if you can't get a good price for a ring up there at the jewelry exchange, and you already know what time it is, you ain't gonna find it no lower. I, I like Louis too, and I do think that Melissa sometimes she's oblivious as well, in my opinion. As far as a man coming home, she should be the hustle that he has, the different jobs he's doing, his personal training, he's working at the pizza shop, he's doing all these different jobs to save money, and he's trying to go out here and spend every dime that he has saved up to please her because she is demanding nothing less than a 2 carat ring her herself. Like, she's not taking into consideration, she sees how he's struggling to find a consistent career, and she has a man that is hustling his butt off, yet you are demanding this 2 carat plus ring. And if it's about love, the size of the ring shouldn't matter. So and she's another one. I don't like the way she talks to Louis. I haven't liked the way she talked to him at all. But listen, I saw when he was standing outside of that jewelry place, I said, "Oh, that's right up there in Woodbridge, a jewelry exchange." It's like a place where they have multiple counters of different companies where you can buy rings and they're giving deals. If you can't get a ring there at a good price, or that if the price wasn't good enough there, you ain't gonna find it no better. That's the jewelry exchange is that type of place. Amanda says she needs to stop with the surgeries. Yeah, I was saying her nose, it looks smaller, but I still don't like it. It still is too big right here. Sorry, not sorry. I don't like it. It looks a little okay in this photo, but I don't like it. And you want a 2 carat ring, you should help him buy it. You out here buying surgeries, like you said, and noses, and you ain't do nothing to help him or put him on. You out here buying a nose. Okay, but he went in there trying to get a 2 carat ring with a budget of, he was trying to stay under 10K, 8,000. They was telling him, no, sir, no, ma'am, no ham. You gonna have to spend upwards of $20,000 to $25,000 with the setting, looking for a 2 carat ring. And I felt bad for him. He left out the store. He was stressed. He was, he didn't want her to criticize him. And I'm saying, if she loves you and she knows that you went out and got a quality ring for her and you did your best, she should be happy with that. Now he should go to Pandora, D Candy. Get out of here. Log off. Now he should go to Pandora. Log off right now. But listen, I just felt like, wow. Again, a lot of these men are going through it this season, and we get to see their stress. And, because men always act so tough, and it's cool to see, not that it's cool, but I guess it's good for us as women to see their anxieties and what they go through and the pressures that they have to try to please us. And he really loves this girl, and the fact that he was worried about if he got a ring that wasn't 2 carat, that basically she would say no or criticize the ring. That's not a good feeling. And I want him to think about that. I'm marrying someone, or I'm asking someone to marry me, that could possibly turn me down if I can't get her a 2 carat plus ring. That's not a good marriage to go into. So he did end up, going back inside. The man took his little calculator, boop, 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 changed some numbers, but he still had to spend $18,500. So he basically cleaned himself out to get this ring. And if she say, I hope they got a good return policy. If she says no or say something about that ring, listen, she don't deserve him at all, because it was a really nice ring. Like, I liked it for me. Like, I want that ring. But it was a really, really, really nice ring, and she better not say nothing bad about it, or y'all gonna come for her just like I am. Barry Zoda says she is putting so much pressure on him. She better take that 3,000 ring from Zell's and be happy. Then, the man asked her to marry her. Right. Because ain't nobody asked you yet. Okay. So, and again, I said this last week. Louis didn't go looking for Melissa. Melissa went looking for Louis. You was on him. You should be asking him to marry you at this point. You the one want to live out your high school fantasies of the cool guy in school when you was the nerdy girl that couldn't get him. Now you got him and want him to bend over backwards for you. Like, what? You went chasing him down. So be happy that he loves you this much that he's willing to wipe out his entire bank account for you in this ring. Like, girl, be for real. Barry Zodi said next she gonna pressure him for 100K wet, and she better get married on this show and let them help her pay for it. Yes, weddings in New York and New Jersey are expensive. Very. Y'all know I live in Jersey. Very expensive. It's gonna cost you a upward of 10,000 plus just for the venue, let alone the dress, the catering, the flowers, the, like, you want to be having bridal showers, and I listen, it is a lot of money. Like, it is. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Me and my husband got married right in my great grandmother's living room. We did not spend a whole lot of money on a wedding, because when it's love, you don't need all of that. I hope one day when we get to our 10-year anniversary, we about to come up on 6 years, but when we get to maybe our 10-year anniversary, we could do something like that. But I'm more focused on growing this podcast and him growing his business before I'm worried about spending that type of money on a wedding. Out of control. It's just crazy. Patty LaBelle said, D Candy said, me City Hall. And you know what? And them be the best marriages, D Candy. The ones that they ain't go out and and spend 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K on the wedding. Those be the best marriages, if you ask me. And you coming up on 10 years. That's right. Congratulations, D Candy. Ain't nobody got time for that. Patty LaBelle said, 20 years later, my friends are divorced and we are still together. Pick up battles. I know that's right. So those be the best. Okay. So we're gonna see what happens when he give her this ring. And if she play him, I'm gonna go looking for her since we both in Jersey. Now, the last couple that we saw was Brittany and Key Rock. Let me tell you, I'm over them on this season, y'all. I'm over them for the simple fact that they made this plan to go all the way to Texas without knowing if they were approved to be paroled there. Like, that right there just turned me off of their entire situation. Like, what were you thinking? Like, let's be for real. What were you even thinking? So I have No words for them. But anyway, they are 30 days into staying in the government hotel that they was placed into since they moved out of their house, and are paying rent in an apartment in Texas that they can't move to because they didn't get approval from their parole officers to be able to transfer to Texas. So they're 30 days into staying in this government hotel. They said they can't have visitors, they can't be out after 11, they can't cook. They have to eat fast food, and it seems like it's starting to break Brittany down. Like she's feeling locked up on the outside. And the good news was that Key Rock got off of probation. He could leave her there if he want to and go to go to Texas. Now we saw in this episode that Brittany was trying to get off of her parole. She had did another appeal. She was going in there with a payment plan. She says she has restitution from her criminal charges. I wasn't too clear on it, but it sounds like her restitution is around $10,000. I was saying sell the Mercedes. Like, if paying that off will get you off of parole, sell the Mercedes and get a smaller car. Like, I'm sure you could sell that Mercedes for more than 10,000. You can get you a smaller something vehicle to get you over to Texas. Pay it and try to appeal again to get off. Not yes, Miss Man is getting on my nerves now. Haven't they now moved to Texas and both have no jobs? Right. I will say this. I do see on their social media that they are in Texas. Do I see her going to school? Do I see her going to beauty school? No. Do I see Key Rock going to do HVAC jobs? No. I see both of them repeatedly letting y'all know that they are in Texas, and if y'all want to book them for club appearances, that you can do that. That's what I see them doing. And I don't see them getting many bookings. So I don't know what the hell they got going on out there besides getting a check from this show right now. But Key Rock is off of parole. He was feeling like Brittany had a good shot of it. Brittany went in there and they told her, hell to the no, that no, she can't get off of parole. So she was saying she either got to pay the restitution or she will be on parole until 2030, bruh. I said, damn. What was she involved in? Like an armed robbery or something? And then she owes the restitution money back. I agree, Penny LaBelle. They're both exhausting to me. To have his mom pack up her whole life along with his brother, and you can't even go. That's why they said to hell with y'all. They went anyway. They already down in Texas. They left their asses right up there. They said, I'm out. Because they had already given up their homes too. And Key Rock, he aggravated me last week trying to call and get a deposit back on an apartment. Like, no, fool. They had that off hold for you. They are not going to give you any type of deposit the first month's rent back. They were holding the apartment for you. And he already has a job in Texas, it sounds like. He has an HVAC job, but he's sitting around here waiting with Brittany. I'd have said, look, boo, I'ma go on out here and you try again in 45 days. Cause that's another thing. She can't even apply to appeal or this decision again. She has to wait another 45 days. No, Kira, you going down there and get in that apartment that you already paying rent on, start your HVAC job, and get it done. No, D Candy, they are not married. And I was thinking that too. That probably would help the situation, especially now that Key Rock is off of parole, but they're not married. They're just engaged. So I saw in the previews it looks like they were going to have a wedding. I don't know if they did. They don't seem married in my opinion now, unless they're just holding on to that information, because during their alleged wedding we see come up, she pulls him aside to tell him that she has something to tell him. So I don't know if they go through it or not, because they don't speak on it. I know it's her birthday yesterday and he was, they were posting, he was posting about her, but I don't see nobody going to beauty school, nobody with an HVAC jumpsuit on going to work, just trying to host parties. Patty Bell said he's there for the churches. That's the best business. No taxes, no overhead. Yeah. But no, D Candy. At this moment in the show, they're not married. We'll see if they are. And if they are, like I said, they're not mentioning it right now on social media, probably because of the show. But yeah, she got denied. Gotta wait 45 days. We'll see if Key Rock leave her, which I doubt he does. He loves her. He's gonna stay with her and stick it out. But again, poor planning on their behalf. They should have had all of this worked out and approved and not given up their apartment or started paying on an apartment somewhere else without knowing this. So they have to take accountability for that. But yeah, that was the show. Oh my goodness, we have almost been on here for 2 hours. Now she better get on the pole or something. How she gonna get on the pole when she got to be back at the motel by 11 o'clock? Was she gonna work the lunch shift at the at the strippy? Cause she can't even be outside late. She got to be back by 11. How she gonna do that, Latoria? She gonna have to work the lunch shift, honey. D Candy said, "Girl, she probably say she married already. Yeah, we'll see if they get married. You think that's what she gonna tell him? She better not. How she do that when she was locked up? I don't know, child. Don't give me the line, but we gonna see. But it was another great episode of Life After Lockup. I enjoyed it as always, and I have enjoyed talking to you guys. Before I get out of here, as you know, if you have a business or a product that you want me to promote, my promotional rates are there. I'm also looking for sponsors for this podcast. So if you want me to promote your business or product on the podcast, I'm doing upward of 7 to 8 podcast shows a week right now. If you're interested in either, you can email me at what you see up here, reality_recap@yahoo.com. My Cash App is down there in the corner, $reality recap. I appreciate your support and your donations. You know, the tea is not free, honey. And we won't have, I may do a tea talk tomorrow, guys. I may, because I never gave y'all my thoughts on this week's episode. Bye, Joseph. Thank you for checking in. I didn't give you guys my recap of Real Housewives of New York this week because I'm just dreading that show. So I'm going to watch it today. I might. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm still binge watching Love is Blind and trying to get caught up on that. So we'll see. If I do a tea talk, I'll put a flyer up for you. If not, I will be back, Wednesday? For the season finale recap of Love and Hip Hop ATL. So y'all make sure y'all watch that, guys. Now, before I get out of here, as I always say, reality TV stars are humans too. Let's not forget that. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. Thank you so much for all the comments and people dropping by today on all 3 platforms. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you later. Peace.